Hello and welcome to the Brother Slim. This is Cam and we're back with update number 9 of the Enormity campaign as we're working our way into the last week. We're working our way downtown, moving fast. So let's just jump into it. Blasphemous Species Expansion, new location, Shrine of Gura, last community stretch goal, and choose. Hi Spacers, can you believe it? We're officially in the final stretch of the Enormity Kickstarter campaign. It's been an incredible adventure so far and it's all thanks to you. Huzzah! With just 6 days to go, the excitement is far from over. We've got more updates, surprises, and unlocks up our sleeves. Let's keep the momentum going and finish strong. There's still so much to discover and achieve together. So, without further ado, you've done it again. Community stretch goal number 11 is officially unlocked. New location, Shrine of Gura. You were not the first ones to reach the shepherd, but much of that was clear when you encountered the worm-like Grin. But, have you wondered, how long ago these creatures got on board? Must have been recent. The shepherd was lost for decades. An infestation like this surely would have spread to all recesses of the ship otherwise. But other things had to get here sooner, much sooner. Colonize the shepherd, twist it in their dark designs or desires, warp it into a lair, a nest, or whatever godforsaken structures they create. One of the oldest haunts must have built this. A shrine of some sort, made of debris, dirt, and inert biological matter, almost like soil. Boughs grow out of it, black and twisted. The place is stifling. Alive, in the same mindless way that you might describe the forest or the sea. We know it is a shrine because of the crude markings on the boughs, that and the broken bones piled up in heaps. Some of them are strange, elongated, jagged. Others are frighteningly human. The Shrine of Gura. Some of the markings are eerily similar to the English alphabet. What happened to the shepherd's crew? They couldn't have just vanished all at once without a trace, you don't think. Locations are the living, beating heart of Enormity as it expands the boundaries of our open world, creating more intricate layouts and allowing for many more playthrough permeations. So I think this location sounds like it's probably tied to the add-on expansion, which is in this update too. The final community stretch goal, Torched David Shadowman. But that's not all. If you take a closer look, you'll see that behind number 12 community stretch goal hides something. And this time you get to choose your reward. Remember a Grand Intruder Spotlight? If not, quickly read through it again. Shadowman, Torched, or David's? Which one caught your eye the most? Which one would you love to face off against? And most importantly, how would you defeat them? Share your answer in the comments below or under the Facebook post. The most frequently mentioned intruder will become your reward. Fun! So this is cool. I do like the vote. Votes are always a little polarizing because people are going to have their favorite, and ultimately there can only be one true freebie winner. Others might end up being add-ons or saved for later dates, it's like, say, the reprint campaign. I think I was a little critical when they showed the intruder updates, just because, like, well, why are you showing stuff that's going to be in the reprint campaign? But I do like how it was actually brought back. And hey, no, this isn't all for the future. You get to choose one, and who knows, maybe the rest will be revealed somewhere else throughout the campaign in different ways too. But yeah, I think I chose the Davids in my mind. Like, they're just the clear winner. They're like very unique, where the other ones are cool, but they're very much just kind of like generic sci-fi stuff. And just the vibe of the Davids is like peak Android. So obviously David and Prometheus and all that, but also just like the statuesque build of them with the kind of like contrast of like the broken spacer gear and the wrench. I'm not like super keen on the wrench, but I do like the contrast with their statuesque vibe. And then just like, I can't remember exactly, but like some of the gameplay that was mentioned. Also, sorry, my nose is all congested now, so if I sounded any nasally, that's why. Yeah, I think David's is the one for me. They just seem much more unique. I do like the interplay of Shadowman and Torch, like having the war between the different beings and such on the Enormity, but David's just so cool. Anyways, let's continue. But here's the twist. Since this is the final grand reward, we'll need a ton of comments to unlock it. So let's hear your creative strategies and thoughts. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Spacers, somebody rightly pointed out that there's something odd about the goat graphic in yesterday's update. It seems the ITU team might have been trying to deliver a hidden message. For those of you who noticed, the next announcement won't come as a surprise. So I have no brain right now, just with being a little bit under the weather, and so something was clearly up there, but I had no idea what it was. So... except goats. Knew it was goats. Alrighty, so Blasphemous Species Expansion. NASF Coventry, outbound transmission, messages to Earth. Not everyone bows down to the so-called God Emperor. There are dark corners of the universe where the light of the eternal faith of the one sun does not reach. places untouched by Imperial Inquisition and places turned to cinders by their wrathful flame, who inexplicably survived. In those places, rebellion and heresy fester. On our journey, we've encountered a coalition of species whose homeworlds have been ravaged by some otherworldly calamity an eon ago, before the coming of the Empire. They've adapted to vagabond life among the stars, a life of subsistence, self-sacrifice, and scavenging. This diaspora has so far proved difficult for the Empire to put down. Despite having a common enemy, they are not friends. They see us, and the Shepherd, as easy prey to be scrapped for parts for their jury-rigged vessels, or overtaken to become their new home. Either way, there is no place for us in their plans. And even if we could communicate, nothing good would come of it. We've seen their fanatical cult of transformation, turning sentient beings into hulking monsters. We heard whispers of their pantheon of dark gods to whom they raise worship, and possibly make living sacrifices. Whoever wins this struggle, we will lose. Blasphemous Species is a moderate difficult campaign that should take you 30 to 45 hours to complete. So let's see what we get. Blasphemous Species campaign expansion. Or Ia. I don't know which one it is. I think Ia. Rise darkness against the tyranny of light. Ia. Down with the false god emperor. Ia. Let the reign of the black gods of the stars begin anew. This is a campaign expansion, introducing all kinds of new stuff. And what do we get here? So species, Delirious Essurians, Wendigo. Called it, when they showed the concept art, I was like, yep, that looks like a Wendigo for sure. Which is pretty sweet. Okay, so work in progress. And then we have species, Absolatridae, Goatman Pirate. Okay, so one boss, which is the Wendigo, Scavenger Spacer Miniature, Goatman Pirate, stratagems, 4+ intruder tokens, so that's, or intruder sheets, that's pretty cool. Okay, and that's all for today's spacers. So smaller update, but pretty sweet. Personally, I would have liked to have seen all 3 of these be unlocked. That's probably just being selfish, but I think it would have been like kind of worthy of it being like a big final unlock instead of it just being like another just normal thing. But who knows, they've got plans for the other stuff as well, so that's all part of their grand design. This expansion actually does seem pretty cool. So there's the meta-narrative of goats and ITU, which I'm a big fan of. The goats in Trespass are a treat. Goatman in space and kind of drawing off like old school Warhammer vibes of Goatman sacrifices and stuff. And then also kind of, I think it might have been teasing of like de-evolution of people maybe with something further up. That might not be tied to this Blasphemous Species expansion at all, because it seems like they are not necessarily native to the Shepherd. But yeah, I like that. It sounds culty, and culty can be a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't know if this is like my number 1 pick, but it might be number 2 or 3. I'll have to figure that out sometime with the campaign. And I do also like the scavenger vibe too. Kind of reminds me of like Fallen in Destiny a little bit, just with more creepy horror vibes. Excuse me. But yeah, that is it for today. So would love to hear what people think of like how much expansion content there is, because I'm kind of curious about that myself. So if I remember correctly, there are 4 campaigns in the base game, and now I think there's 5 or 6 expansion add-ons, which is a huge amount in my opinion. Really cool to have choice, and clearly they've scoped it all out to feel like they can achieve it. But yeah, would love to hear people's thoughts on the campaign, like the base content versus expansions, and then as well as like what expansions are more interesting to folks and such too, and just thoughts on the campaign in general. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!